Are you able to describe your process, either with writing or being on set?
I do a lot of my thinking late at night. I have terrible insomnia, so I'm not going to advocate having this set routine and get up and start writing at 7 a.m. and do it till 12 p.m. But just be consistent. Time is the magic ingredient. We were lucky on Use Me that we could sort of employ a documentary methodology and take a bit longer and write and shoot and edit and then kind of see how it was working. And I would advocate doing that. Give yourself time. If you don't have money, give yourself time. It really is the magic ingredient. And with our film, because it was privately financed, we didn't have sort of a distributor or a studio breathing down our necks. We took a bit longer and the film got better. And we even did things like, we did audience testing through a company called Indee, I-N-D-E-E.
Oh, interesting.
$5,000, brutally honest. You get hundreds of people giving you their feedback on the movie. And it was great. We made some tweaks based on that. We also were heartened because we got good numbers. We actually got a positive response. So we felt, okay, this is good. But I would say build all those things into your process, build feedback into your process, give your ideas lots of air. Don't, like Gollum, my precious, don't do that. With trusted people, I'm not saying with everyone, but share your ideas, give them oxygen, give yourself time. It will make your film better, I promise.
So what were just a couple notes from this Indee audience testing? That's really interesting.
Well, firstly, we were encouraged because, people loved the interplay of the reality and fiction, and they were intrigued by that. But moreover, they just liked the story. And they actually kind of stopped caring about how real things were or weren't. They were just invested in the characters. So that was a big win for us. And that's been reflected by a few people. Like my executive producer, Mark Lazarus, he thought the whole thing was fiction. He didn't know Sierra Lynch was a real person. He just thought it was a movie. And then he found out, oh, it's kind of like real life. He didn't care. He just liked the story. So that's kind of what we've been hoping for. We found out a couple of scenes didn't necessarily work. Found out that, my performance in one scene probably wasn't where it should be, so we had to have an honest conversation about that. Reshot the scene, ended up being really strong. We had the luxury of doing that. So there were a couple little beats that we changed, based on that feedback. I'm really glad we did it. Gave us a lot of confidence, Trying to think what else. It also just kind of made us think, who is the audience for this? Because we thought, oh, well, it's going to be men and we might have a problem with women, just given the subject matter. No, our female numbers were amazing. I mean, they were as good as the male numbers pretty much across the board. I mean, it definitely skews a little bit older male, but the older female numbers were right there with them. So that was super encouraging. So, and you do need to think about that. It's not just creative and I'm an artist telling my story. You've always got to think, okay, well, who is going to watch this film in the end? So any information you can get on who the story is appealing to or who the characters are appealing to, that's very useful as a filmmaker.